Hello, welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping in. Today I'm here with two of my wise women, soul sisters, soul family, and we've been reading tarot together for a long time. So we decided to share this 2021 reading with you. And because we're receiving so much information, we decided to do it in little snippets. So we're going to give this reading today is for January, February, March, 2021, whatever this year is called. So take with it, take what you need and leave the rest is the invitation. Let me tell you just a little bit about who I am. I'm Linda the Lightworker. I'm a shamanic practitioner. I have been doing daily readings on YouTube for a couple of years now, and I needed to take a small break, and now I'm stepping into the assignments that Spirit's giving me, which is about using this YouTube channel to create more community with more women, with more soul family, with more soul sisters and soul brothers who have messages to bring to the world. And if you're looking for my daily videos, do not despair. Something will happen there. I don't know when, but something's in the works. So just keep popping back in and see what's going on. And let me introduce you to my soul sister, Panther Moon, and her name is Sumitra. Take it away.
Hi, thanks for joining us today. A little bit about myself is that I've been reading for, I don't know, 10, 20 years, off and on. And I met these two women about 20 years ago. So we've been friends and in Women's Circle. All this time, we've lived in different states and all over the place, all over the world, but we're still connected, and coming back together this year has been a real blessing. And kind of navigating the energies together. It's been a big year for all of us. And in my other business, well, it's kind of all one business, I guess. I have a tea company called Panther Moon Tea, panthermoontea.com. And on it, I am selling wonderful tea from all over the world, especially the Yunnan teas from China, and also a lot of herbal concoctions and so forth. So that's my passion, along with creating community and being that hollow bone for spirit. So Zoe Claire, you're on.
Okay, hello. Yeah, okay, good. Yay. My name's Zoe Claire. I've been reading cards for a couple of days, and I can't really remember when I didn't know what was going to happen next. So the cards are helpful because they keep me more focused. Hummingbird, look at the hummingbird. Okay, so anyway, I'm also a writer, and I'm working on a trilogy of books. I have other things going on too, but the trilogy has been interesting because I was writing what happened this year a year ago, so it's been strange to watch it unfold in the news and to see that I was fairly close, and those parts I'm not. I'll go ahead and rejigger. So anyway, but I do read. I do tarot readings. Not really. It's a different kind of tarot readings. It just kind of keeps me focused and stuff. So there you go. All right, back to you guys.
Well, I thought we'd start with the month of January. Now, we've had such a huge year. I mean, I think all of us here knew that we were going to have a year like this, or start entering into a time like this, where it's possibly the end of one paradigm, beginning of another. So I think all three of us here have been kind of preparing for this most of our lives, to say the least. We've talked about it quite a bit. And this year has been a doozy. So a lot of us, have had very traumatic years. We've had a lot of loss, a lot of change. And in the midst of that, some of us have had really good years. We've been able to kind of distill our sense of purpose and the meaning of our lives, what our values are, and what we're here to bring forward in this time for healing, and creating kind of new paradigms and new infrastructure for the Aquarian age. So I thought we'd start with January. And we have a lot of hopes for January for things to shift very quickly. I'm not so sure they will, but at least we are looking at passing through one threshold, hopefully. And that would be leaving one political situation and starting a new one, that many of us have better hopes for the future. And so that is a big change that's coming up. And hopefully, you know, we can start looking toward a fresh start in our lives as well. So I thought we'd start with January, which is for the most part, the month of Capricorn. And it's interesting that we start there because Capricorn is about foundation. And if we have a solid foundation, we can use that as a springboard into the rest of the year. Not usually what I would consider the beginning of something, but it kind of makes sense if we look at it. Like Capricorn's very kind of stark and really dealing with physical reality and the reality of situation, truth, not necessarily the highest truth, but the truth that we need to face within ourselves and as a collective. So it's kind of like the old man, he's kind of the bone man. He's like getting down to the bare bones. So let's start with Capricorn, and with a slight tip of the hat to Saturn, who rules Capricorn. And I say that with a sense of humor because he has none, but you know, let's start there and see what's happening in January. Would you like to start, Linda?
Today I'm working with about 4 or 5 different tarot decks. And all the information will be down below in the description box of this video. Please like, share, and all that, and take what you need and leave the rest. All right. We're kicking off January with the lizard. Now, what does the lizard do? The lizard lays in the sun and it goes into its dreaming space. It's a time of going within, reevaluating your dreams, making sure that the story goes is that when the snake appears, it asks but the lizard was ready for it. And the snake says, why are you here? How did you know I was coming? And the lizard says, well, I dreamt you. I knew you were coming. So pay attention to your dreams, literal dreams you're having now, the dream you had last night, the dream you had this morning, the dreams you used to have as a youngster. It's a time of visioning, and go deep into your dream. Allow yourself the luxury of dreaming, of taking the time to, for me, I love being like bundled under cold, you know, when it's cold outside and I'm all nestled in underneath my little blankets or my weighted blanket, to feel safe and secure into that space of vision. Perhaps this lizard is laying on her eggs. I keep seeing eggs. So this is about you stepping into those dreams that you want, nurturing your egg. The companion card that came with her was the nightingale. So the nightingale is that invitation to like, oh, what music do you hear in your dreams? Where are those dreams coming from? What is spirit saying to you? It's about having a fearless voice. Look at that little thing. She's got a fearless voice. And it's about her speech, her communication, and her song. So knowing what your dreaming song is, or what lulls you into that creative space where you're allowed to create your dreams. There are 4 cards that came, so I got 2 more. So the next one that came for January, this is the 7 of Voices. Interestingly, they look like they're about 7 little eggs over here. So it's possible that you had seeds planted all around, or nurtured your 7 projects, or perhaps for someone, I'm really getting the 7 sisters are here and watching. It's about the seers are here to help us manifest and cultivate the dreams. As we're evolving, as the human being is evolving, it's recognizing not only the potential, the full potential of the human, but also recognizing you are not one thing. You are not one dream. You are not wake up, get cleaned up, put on clothes and go to work, come home, eat processed food and watch Netflix. That's not 7. You've got 3 other things you get to add there. So you get to add creative time, you get to create who you are, get in touch with that soul. So the air sign here, this is the air sign, the 7 of voices, is listening to the angelic forces that are coming through. Your ancestors are here. And then our final card for January is the Knight of Materials, which means that he's moving full force, that you will be able to support your dreams. The money's coming. Everybody's worried about money. It's letting that money go and trusting that as you're moving forward in the passion projects of your life, the money will follow. Not only will it follow, you've already started, it's on its way, it's coming. It's, look at that galloping horse. I don't see a rider. Is there a rider? The flower is the rider. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm gonna end that transmission right here. Who's up?
Zoe, gotta mute yourself, darling.
There it is. Look at the hummingbird. My 3 cards need to be read together because apparently that's how we're doing it these days. I use a deck called the Reflections deck, this one. And if you know where to find it, please email us because I have 2 and when they're gone, I'm gonna have to like Xerox them and laminate them. Okay, so my 3 cards, let's see if I can do this neatly. That's not really neat. So the first card is Spirit, the second card is Evolution, and the third card is Air, which I think is funny because basically the same stuff Linda just said. So first card, the Spirit card. It talks about moving into who you are as a person, listening to your dreams, your intuition, your that whole kind of that inner voice that we most kind of ignore. If the inner voice says, wear a hat today, just do it, and start listening more. Because the Spirit card is going to build up and help you discover what your personal evolution is going to be. That's the, what am I going to be when I grow up? What am I going to do to impact the world? What am I going to do that's going to bring me money and joy and other people and anything I want in the world? The evolution card also talks about when you have an evolution, you can either not be prepared for it or you can be prepared for it, but it's going to happen. So might as well journal and talk to your friends and make ideas and predictions and things about what you're doing and where you're going. If you need a capsule wardrobe, this is the year to do it. And then the Air card talks about bringing breath back into us, into our bodies. There's been a lot of lacking in breathing. We've been holding our breath. People with COVID, it attacks their lungs. There are people who are windbags. There's a lot of air happening. There's a lot of current. There's a lot of movement, and it's up here in our heads. It's not quite in our bodies yet. So go ahead and listen to what's going on in your head. Listen to the breezes that go by, and let that be what you use as your jumping off point for your next thing. And just also FYI, January is a number 6. Does that look like a 6? Okay, good. That's a number 6. The January is a 6, and 6s are really groovy because they're numerologically, they are about the nest of who you are. So this is deciding what you want to be, how you want to be, where you want to be. And there's going to be moving, there's going to be a lot of stuff. And then what happens is that the mama bird leaves these little eggs here, and then she flies up over the top of them, and she goes out into the world. But she's still connected to the nest. And that nest is the spirit card, finger, spirit card. That's where it is. So you've got to start doing the work around what you want, who you want to be, where you want to be. And you can choose not to do it. That's groovy. Good luck on that. So that's it. That's it. Do your work. All right, I'm done.
Boy, back in 2012, there was when we thought that everything, the world was going to change or end or whatever, there was a saying, it was like, transform or be dragged. And I feel like that's kind of where we are right now, for sure. I feel like this year has been a year of a lot of deep introspection. I'm going to have to go back to you, Linda, for a second.
And this time of manifestation that's coming up, of taking that dream time. I mean, seriously, how many of us haven't wished for a lot of time off to just kind of let our bodies catch up with where our visions are? Because being on the busy bus of life has been one of go, 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 go. It allows for no restoration. We know when we're fatigued, when we're starved nutritionally, when we don't have enough water, we don't have any vision for ourselves. And so staying healthy means you taking care of all parts of yourself, those 7 different aspects. Think of that 7 as your 7 chakras. And doing a chakra rebalancing for the new year is a great invitation for a New Year's Day practice of being able to just start at this number 1 chakra, the root chakra, and just hum into that color and allow the colors to work up your system to your crown chakra so that you are in alignment and you're able to be grounded to allow yourself to move forward for the dreams that you want, because together we create the vision of our future. So it comes with the visioning stage. Okay, that's all I got. I'm done with January.
Well, back to you, Zoe. I'm not done with January. I'm still waiting.
Okay.
We have a noise situation in the house. But
That's
Zoe,
cool.
can you tell us, how do you come by your numbers for the month? Can you explain that to us?
It just, it's math. Basically what I do is I take the month is 1 and 2021. There's 2021. Yeah, that's right. It's weird to say, isn't it? Because we've been saying 2020 so much. So that you just kind of add it together and come up with the number. There are thousands of ways you can do the numerological stuff. I do it this way. It's just the easy peasy lemon squeezy way. You can do it for your birthday. You can, you can use your birthday number or whatever, but that's just kind of what I do, just as this month is this month is that. So, okay.
Well, thank you so much. So for January, what I got was something very similar to both of you. The first card that came forward from the Psychic Tarot is the awareness card. It's number 1. And if you look at it, we're looking at the top 2 chakras, right? And our connection to spirit, to ourselves. And it's really speaking to me about the sovereignty of our minds and how are we taking responsibility for the sovereignty of our thinking and our minds. And for many of us have experienced what happens when we abdicate our mind to other people, other forces, other belief systems or ideas. And in January, the energy around this is about reclaiming the sovereignty of your mind, okay? And creating that and focusing on creating awareness, and maybe perhaps also cultivating a more dispassionate, excuse my dogs here, a dispassionate, maybe a little more detachment about the drama that's around us. And you know that we have a lot of people who want to create drama and harness our minds. And it's time to reclaim that back. So that's the first card in January. The second card is power and prayer. So again, we're kind of syncing up here about the January is a time of kind of going within and silence. And it's about creating that foundation in our lives, okay? That Capricorn foundation. But we need to also think about how our will, what our will has created, and has that worked for us? So when we look at our will, especially in recovery, we can see like a big string of mess right behind us. So I feel like prayer and meditation is an extremely important tool right now to help us with our discrimination and creating more awareness and maybe less noise in our lives, so that we can be more in alignment with ourselves. And through prayer and meditation, excuse me, we can not only talk to spirit, but we can also listen. So if we're having problems in our life, or we don't know which way to enter the path or what path to enter, through prayer and meditation, chances are, if we're in that discipline, that we will actually get a lot of instruction and clarity. So prayer is not only about asking, but about receiving as well. And I think that our angels, guides, ancestors, and the Supreme Being is there to help us in our life. And a lot can come through during these times of silence and contemplation. And lastly, I got the card of the Two of Pentacles, which I see as kind of reflection of the balancing of our value systems with our personal value systems and the value systems of the world around us. And do they actually have any relationship to each other? And I'm finding myself, not to make this about me, but my value system is quite different from the value system of the world around us. So that's been a real big, long process this year to understand how I have been living and how I want to live in the future. And I also see this card is going to be a lot about money in our country, and there's going to be a lot of panic about money. But it also, I think, to me, invites us into really getting clarity and doing the work about what's important to us in our lives, and creating that foundation that's based on our own internal values rather than the values that are given to us as children or in the workplace, and so forth. In the old paradigm, we're entering into a new paradigm where money is going to be hopefully used in a more humanitarian way and thought of as in a more humanitarian way. And so first, that transformation needs to happen within ourselves. So what is our relationship with money? But more importantly, what is our value system, and how does that differ from the information we are being given by the old masters? And what do we want to create? Do we want to create a village life? Do we want to create more bartering? Do we want to create, that time is now art rather than money? So a lot of questions around values in January.
Here. I would like to, just final thoughts for January that came up, is that with everything, piggybacking everything on that Sumitra just said, with the lizard, it's all illusionary. You know, this method of control through the money has been an illusion. It's been a system to control, for control. Hey, listen, we all need a roof over our heads. We all need health insurance. We all got to eat. Those are human rights. I'm not stepping on a platform, but I just want us to have clarity around what is a human right, and then what you're able to do beyond that to allow your visions for yourself, cultivate those dreams for you. Maybe your dream is just a steady roof over your house, a head over, you know, a roof over your head, so that you have some stability. That's why that first chakra is coming into alignment here is important, of just keeping them, all of those in alignment. And then the final point I wanted to make there was with the image of the Mandalorian came in. And I know this is a very popular show that everybody is watching in my country. It's really big. And what's interesting about it is that these communities that they go visit are little pods of community where activities are happening and information is, and then they need to journey to another pod. It is shifting how we live as a society. It can be quite a little bit of an adjustment. So being in alignment with your dreams is the most important thing, so you are aware that you create your dream reality. And to do that, you got to take a nap. So be sure and get your naps in. I'm calling January the month of naps.
Well, great. Let's get on to February, ruled by our friend, the water bearer, Aquarius, for the most part.
All right. Well, I'm ready with February. So we got 4 cards for February. And as we gently remind each other to mute. And thank you. So the first card I got is the wolf. My regular viewers might notice the wolf is already here. And when this came up, I just started laughing and laughing and laughing. The wolf is all about being the teacher. And the wolf is the greatest teacher in the animal deck. The wolf knows how to teach to its students. So here's the good news. If you're watching this video, you're a wolf, right? You're part of this tribe where when we are doing our best to live an authentic, pure life, singing its praises of being on our path, supporting each other along the way, you're teaching others. And it's like the spiral dance, whereas we're all in different places. So I suspect if you're watching this video, you're more likely to be open to receiving messages from outside sources, your ancestors, the deep knowledge that is within all of us. It's encoded in our DNA. We all have the ability to tap into this information. So the invitation is to the invitation is to dive deep into your insight, your information, and then pay attention to who you're sharing your information with. Now, this might require a time of discernment, and you'll know it exactly when you say, oh yeah, I was listening to these 3 ladies and one of them always talks to the animals, right? I'm the animal lady, all of them, you know, and they're rolling their eyes. It might not be the right time to have that conversation with someone. Stick to something easier. You know your student if you're teaching. And remember, as teachers, the best teachers allow students to discover information for themselves. So this whole thing is an inside job and leading by example. So as we lead our lives in a way that feels right with ourselves, in balance with our dream state of living our dreams, then others witness, because we never know what's going to inspire someone. Inspiration is everywhere. It's all around you. So we have no idea, like, oh, when she said, roast the pot roast at 350 degrees, that changed everything with the recipe I was working with. I was doing it 775. Like, you got to turn that heat down. But they have to discover it for themselves. So listen to the wolf, listen to your wolf, know what that teacher is, and follow your inner teachers, because the second animal that came up with it is the whale. The whale carries the ancient wisdom. The whale is about diving deeper. It's about that profound sense of knowing and having the courage to go into those deep waters. A whale's not afraid. If he hits the bottom of the ocean, he'll be like, oh, I ate everything down here, or that doesn't look good to me. I'm going up for something more tasty, and brings the wisdom, the light, the records. It's the wisdom keeper, the record keeper. You have access to all of it. I have access. You're a teacher. I'm a teacher. I'm you, you, me. It's all for all of us. And then my two final tarot cards is the Six of Emotions. It's going to be conflicting. There are going to be memories that you're holding, like, oh, when can I get back to Spain? That's my memory. Why didn't I buy a house in Spain? Well, maybe it wasn't time. Remembering those days of travel or of youth or perceived times, it seemed easier. It's hanging on to those memories, but paying attention, this is the Two of Voices, to the duality of the stories. Like, are you really that person anymore? Like, is that really who I am? Really noticing that, well, what happens if you go deeper and you are receiving? What happens when you start speaking your truth? Woo, girl, it's getting hot just even saying that. I got to turn my fan on. That's my February.
So again, in threes. And this is never going to be tidy, so let's just live with that. Okay, so my cards are life, joining, and obvious. The life card is real heavy in this deck because it is talking about what you are, not what you have, not what you want. It's what you are. What's your life? You know, if everything were taken away from you, and there have been a lot of people who've had that lately, they're having that stark reality of, oh, okay, now what? Who am I now? And that's what the life card is. It's who are you now? After all that's happened, who are you now? Are you still a waitress? Is that who you are? Are you still, you know, and if you are, awesome, because waitresses, let me tell you. But, you know, it's like, who are you in everything that you do now? That's what the life card talks about. The joining card talks about connecting who you were. It's the bring the parts that you need with you. You know, so like your breathing and your brain and, you know, those great silver shoes you have, you know, bring the things you need, and then let everything else, let it go, so that you can connect together, so that you can join your life with who you are going to become. And I know that saying that kind of stuff is like, oh, who am I going to be? And what, well, I hate to say it, but this card, it says it's obvious. And I think that when you do the work in January, you're going to start to get a real sense of what it is that you are, what it is that you do, what is the obvious thing. A lot of times the people that are out in the world are doing what they think is what they should be doing. And we all had, a lot of us, most of everybody had that taken away from us. Most people had that taken away from them. And I do believe that doctors and nurses and, you know, first responders, they follow their calling. I don't think that the 40 years I did in retail was a calling for me. So, you know, let's move through that and find what our real calling is. So I think that that's what the January does, is you start to think about, you daydream, great. You daydream about it, you write it down. What did I like about the last thing I did? What is the thing I hated about it? When I am sitting in the bathtub and in that kind of, where's my mind? Where did it go? Where did my body go? And then bring that into, okay, this is what I'm starting with. And start where you are. Start where you're. If you have to be a bank teller for the next 6 months, fine. Start where you are. And I don't mean bad things about bank tellers either. I should just, if you have to be a writer for the next 6 months, like I am, then be who you are and move that forward into joining and into becoming the obvious. And also, this month is a 7, and the 7 is your head brings in information and your body connects you to the earth and manifesting, and the place right here is where your heart is. So any ideas that you have, any direction that you have, make sure that you bring it in through your heart and connect it through what your heart is telling you to do. Your brain, yeah, we've all turned those off. We don't need those anymore. Right now, we need to use our hearts. Okay.
Boy, I love that, sisters, because drew some real similar cards for February. And I love February because it's ruled by Aquarius. And Aquarius to me is about our humanity. It's about our connection with each other and how we pull ourselves up. But the cards that I also picked the 6 of Cups as one of the cards in the deck. And to me, that's about reviewing the past and going back to, for some people, it might be going actually back into our history. It's the pull. It's okay. It's the pull kind of nostalgic pull to the past, and maybe some of the things that we were missing, about the past, and we want to recreate. About past relationships that maybe are never, that have kind of fallen to the wayside, or it's okay, you can just open the door. That way you can just, I'm not distracted there. Okay, because I'm losing my train of thought here. But like you were saying, Zoe and Linda, it's also about, maybe these identities that we've had in the past. So we're kind of looking at ourselves back then. It could be looking at our childhood, some of our experiences. So there's a look backwards, and maybe for some of us in this country, we want to return to something that was safe and that felt comfortable. However, the next card that comes is the Beach, and the Beach card is about healing and balance, and the past is over. So we have the tide that's going out and we have a tide that's coming in. And so that change, creates these shifting sands. And we may feel like sometimes like we're losing ground because actually the sand is, underneath our feet is changing. So we have this balancing point of the tide that's going out and the tide that's coming in, kind of the past and the future. Having gone what we've gone through the last year, I think we're all going to be coming to a point, once things stabilize a little bit in terms of the change in our country, where we're going to need to begin that healing process of the life that was and the life that could be. So the healing process may be calling you in February to kind of see where we are now, and to bring the best of the past into the future. And then lastly, I have the Page of Pentacles, and the page is a young child. And it may be that some of our past dreams, our past passions, desires, things that we wanted for ourselves that we've let go of, or discarded or put to the wayside to get on with the rest of our life. maybe it's time to bring some of that passion or some of that creativity back to our lives. And maybe there's something from your childhood you've always wanted to do, an interest that or hobby that you've always wanted to pursue, or a creative project that has been calling you for a long time and you've been ignoring. Something that's kind of bringing more of you into your life. And so I see the Page of Pentacles as possibly a new project to start. Something, it's not a big thing. It's something you've wanted to do, to start. And you know, the page is just the beginning, so not to put on a lot of expectations, but you know, give yourself something. Give yourself give that child inside of you some joy and some expression, and do something to manifest that, anchor that into your life. So that's more that is February for me.
Great. I feel complete with February. Any final messages? Okay. We're moving into March. And I have 4 cards. The first is the Black Panther. Oh, girl, do I love a big cat. I'm telling you, I love those big cats. This is a powerful, powerful, powerful medicine. This is about embracing the unknown, the darkness within, seeking those fundamental core issues that you really can pounce on, like really going in deep and discovery and having the courage. This panther is not afraid. This panther lets go of fears that look like obstacles and brings unexpected blessings with her. This panther is about knowing when to run and when to fight, what battle she can win. She doesn't go into a den of wolves by herself. In fact, she might not even want to eat a wolf. You know, she might go gobble up a little bunny, a rabbit. That fear, you know, that would be a nice meal for the panther, to take the wisdom of the rabbit and to allow it to turn that fear into manifestation. And again, under the dark of night. I know many of you out there have these, what we're doing here, this reading, y'all can do. Everybody can do it. This is not hocus pocus or magic or anything. We all have the ability to go within and retrieve dark knowledge that has remained hidden. And that has been listen, I like to say I didn't reincarnate at all. As soon as that, I think it must have been, I was there, I was around for Jesus. I know I did Egypt. I can go all the way back to Adam and Eve. And then as soon as those crusades started, girl, I jumped out of my body. I'm like, out of here. Not sticking around for this bloody crap. I popped in again in the 1950s for about 10 years and said, not time, and then came back in the 60s. I was like, okay, this I can do. Like, there's hope here. I'm going to stick around. So we got to go by the still of the night, knowing where that mystery comes from, embracing our gifts. Because the second animal that came up with it was another lizard. Look at that beautiful lizard. That is returning to the dream state. This lizard looks different. This lizard was sleeping, laying on the eggs. This lizard has her belly on her dreams. She is in the core. She looks pregnant to me. These are subtle messages that are going to come through for you. This is you developing your telepathic abilities. The story of the lizard having the conversation with the snake. How do they talk to each other? One of them withers their tongue. The other, well, they both wither their tongues. Well, maybe the lizards and the snakes know how to talk to each other. So start talking on the coconut line with your soul family. The telepathic communication refers back to that first card that Panther Moon brought up there, with that bubble expanding our consciousness and knowing that, hey, why did I know you were going to call me right before you called me? That's a telepathic thought coming through. Oh, I'm going to call Zoe. I call it the coconut line. My girls and I have been on the coconut line for years and years and years. And being able to tune in. So if you're having a thought about someone, to strengthen your telepathic skills. Okay, to strengthen your telepathic skills, when you're having that thought, write them a note and say, oh, send them a card. The post office, I know they're overworked, but really sending cards and letters helps us regain our mental space back. It helps us get off of the internet, even though we're watching this on the internet, of being able to separate those so that we can get our minds back together. So you can hear clearly where you're receiving information from. Are you receiving it from spirit? For me, it comes in vertically. When I'm getting soul sisters, it comes in on the sides, ancestors from the back. That's just how I get it. But learning where you receive your information is the invitation. I threw all these cards, and then there are two more. Yeah, okay, so two more cards that are so interesting. So the first is justice. Now, justice is all about, finally, right? It's your birthright. It's our birthright to live our dreams. Let's go back to Adam and Eve. Remember them? I read that first chapter of that book. It's a great book, compelling. It's got everything in it. And it tells you everything you need to know right there. Took a bite from the tree of knowledge. So you're allowed to create your own free will. You are a free will. It is your birthright to live your dream. It is your birthright to do your soul work. This is the justice that's coming forward. Now, as we look at this image, it's quite an extraction, because not only do I have my birthright, but I have all my ancestors' birthright with me. And this is a healing process that we're going through with the ancestors. And so the companion card that came with it was the Page of Emotions. So as we've mentioned, the pages are the children of the court. And so as we embark on this ancestral healing, look at all these little tentacles. I love a red dress, honestly, but look at these tendrils down here. You might still have, you know, it's like the octopus of emotions, right? Like emotions all over the place, still hanging around, but like the octopus teacher, like, is she using the octopus tentacles to help her along this ancestral healing that's happening? Doesn't have to take a long time, because we have the heart. This heart looks like the ones that's in the oh, you know what I'm saying. My girls know what I'm trying to say. The Day of the Dead ceremonies, that sort of energy of the heart. And look here in the womb is the egg of your dream that you're pregnant with. That's that baby's egg right there. It's even the same color. So it's just about going easy with yourself, because it's an emotional ride. Because once the awareness shows up that it's like, hey, I was played for, right? Feeling played for, believing that you had to work 100 hours a week to make this much money to avoid a house, you know, to get on the busy bus. Like, once you recognize that, oh, I'm supposed to sit at my altar right there all day and read tarot cards for a living. Like, this is my work. Like this, like, whoa, that's a mind blower right there. Stepping into the divine work. I'm going to stop there. That's March.
That's March. Hang on. I did this just for you. It's a little bunny. Yeah.
I love that.
Just had to do a bunny.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
I like bunnies, but truthfully, I'm also the Black Panther person. So, you know, there it is. My March came out really oddly and really kind of amazing. Let's see if I can do this right. Is that right? No, it's got to go. Okay, oh, I'm just going to show you. Okay, this is March. Bling. And what March is doing in this card deck, which is kind of weird since she just said things about eggs and junk, is that this is the earth that we have. This is the earth is also who we are, who we connect to. We are on this earth. We are of this earth. You know, we are the earth. And the card that comes after it is the weight card. And then the end card is the trust card. So earth. Earth is this place where we live. It's really handy. We've got water and restaurants here. So it's kind of convenient to have. The earth card also is the place where we can put things into the ground and make other things. We can be together, you know, and make babies or, you know, puppies or ponies or however that stuff works. But it's important to remember that the earth is what we are. We are of the earth. So again, when we go back to those other cards, they're talking about having ideas, you know, creating, getting ready to create things. Well, what do you do with a seed? You stick it in the earth or in a bunny or whatever. The weight card is that time when it germinates, and it's going to feel awkward and uncomfortable. It always does. You know, you can't have any kind of a rebirth or a pregnancy or a growing, you know, there's growing pains. There just is. That's what we have. And a lot of people quite often check out around that, or they decide that they don't want to be around it, or any number of weird things. But know that the growing pains, we've been trained to wait this last 9 months. We can do this. This isn't hard. We can do the wait thing. We know, we've trained. Everybody has trained on how to do the wait. So we got a few more months of it. That's okay. We can do this. Easy peasy, falling off the back of a carrot car. I don't know. Anyway, then the last one is trust. And that's what makes the waiting possible. If you know that the earth has the seed in it and it's being watered and the sun is coming out, you kind of trust what's going to happen. And yeah, sometimes the tomatoes don't grow. Big deal. Maybe you're not supposed to have tomatoes this month. But trust is the important thing to remember here. You have to be able to trust. We've been in a space where we have been told to wait. We've been told to trust. We've been told to stop. We've been told to, and we're doing it. You know, wear your mask, wash your hands. We're doing those things. And they are good training for the direction we're going. And finally, numerologically, this is an 8 month. 8 is about money. Money is, it's poop. It's poop. It is the poop you put on the earth to make the tomatoes grow bigger. It's just something that gets things going. It's not the be all and end all. I know personally, I know what it's like not to have money. I know what it's like not to know where things are coming from. I also know personally that there have been times in my life when I am like, okay, that's the end. I am never going to make this. And, you know, maybe I don't have a house, but I can borrow a car and I can sleep in that. Or a friend says, well, you know, I have a sofa. Okay. The earth, the universe will give you what you need. And whether it's money or mana or, you know, whatever direction it is, that's what we're doing right now in March. The money paradigm is going to change. So, ta-da.
I like the poop is money. That's really, I'm going to stick with that one. Yeah. So, similarly, to some extent, I'm seeing in March, there's going to be an opportunity. Well, those 2 cards go together. One is the blue moon, new opportunity that happens only every once in a while. So in March, there may be something that comes your way that could not have come through until this time. and it's a time to take a chance, step forward boldly, and take the opportunity. It could be the opportunity to start a new project, a new job, take another chance on sobriety, whatever it is that comes through, that there's a chance that it's a really good chance to work, for things to work out for you. And along with that is the Triumph card. So I see that, it's time to really, this opportunity, there's some real means of success around it, influences of success and confidence, stepping boldly into your life in some way that you feel called to. I love this Triumph card, and again, this blue moon opportunity, go for it. So that's the go for it message that you've been waiting for in March. And I also see in the realm of influence, in the olden days, Mars ruled March. We see this this card of, it's usually known as kind of the abuse of power card. We see someone who's willing to kind of burn down everything behind him if he doesn't get his way. Yeah, I see it's a little bit of a conflict, or aggressive energy, and also a little cruelty energy. So I don't know if this is going to be coming, something's happening in our country, or that's just kind of an influence that's coming in. Maybe it's the Aries coming in, that there's something going on with Mars that's kind of amplified. But there's that energy to kind of be right, and black and white kind of thinking, and I'm right, and it's my way or the highway. So we can always keep an eye out for that. And if it's happening in our country, it's always a great opportunity to look at ourselves and how that energy manifests in our own lives, do that mirror work. It's not a great card, so just be aware of this energy in March. And then lastly, I'm going to start with, I don't know if y'all have a card that's just kind of the overarching energies for the next 3 months, but I picked out one card, and you guys will get a kick out of this. It's the hummingbird, and it's the sun. So the hummingbird came up. We did a recording before this recording that never recorded, and the hummingbird was all over the place. It was just like, it was flying all over the reading. So the hummingbird came forward. This is the Ted Andrews deck, the animal medicine deck, and it's the sun. And of course, we know the hummingbird has a huge heart in comparison with its body, and has a very has a big heart, and is very fierce. It's very territorial. It can take down an eagle if it's eagles or someone is messing with its nest. It's very territorial, but it has a huge heart. And the medicine of the hummingbird is protection, joy, and heart medicine. And of course, in this deck, it's the world. So how can we bring that heart medicine of our own brand of it, our own flavor of it, our own flavor? Let's see. And our own unique heart medicine into the world right now. God, the world needs it. Our world needs heart. And I know it's hard to do because it's like putting yourself out there. You might feel like you're vulnerable to expose your heart, but we need heart right now. And so if I would say the one card that popped out, just literally popped out of the deck, it was to bring that heart medicine into the world in whatever way you can, and share of yourself. And it's in terms of generosity, of your art, of your healing ways, of your passion and your joy, and just share that. Don't be afraid to share that. Be bold. That's what I'm getting.
The final card that I got, oh. The final card I got, I don't know if all that got on camera. The final card I got was the arrow. The first message was like, we're right on target. Like, this is a true and accurate reading. The also, thanks, Spirit. The other message I'm getting is to pay attention to where you're pointing your arrow. Where you pointing that thing, boy? Like, pay attention. Is it pointing down? Is it at your own foot? Are you shooting yourself in your foot? Are you being true to yourself? Are you, look how this just like points right back at you. Anytime you feel the need to point your arrow at someone else, be sure, oh, the mirror work, you said that already. Be sure the inner work has been done and pay attention to where you're pointing that thing. Remember, the first act of war is defense, right? We defend ourselves. Now we're ready for war. Maybe it's not a time of defending. Maybe it is a time of going within. If we transform into this divine energy way, it is about laying down that warring in general. And then the other final message I got was, stay tuned for timing, because all the timing's all wonky. We've got a lot of time twisting happening, things happening outside of our perceived realities. You may wake up one day and say, hey, my toe fungus is gone. You know, like everything might just shift. Be aware for miraculous healing. I know, toe fungus. Everybody had toe fungus when we were wearing shoes and going into the workplace. Now the toe fungus is gone. That's why I like to think of the quarantine time. I know, I see your face. Sorry for the toe fungus. We're wrapping this up. That's why, if you've made it this long, good for you. We're really glad you're here. Okay. And then the final thing is the love, to bring in the love. Love is the magic energy that comes through, and embrace the love. And remember, when serving love, serve yourself first. Allow yourself to receive the love energy, and then it will just pour out from you wherever you are.
Well,
Final thoughts, anyone? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just looked at the bottom of the deck, and it's just a reminder. It's the dove medicine, moving between cycles and worlds. So we're kind of in this in-between place, y'all. You know, we're still in that in-between place where we're letting go of something and bringing in something. So it is kind of an awkward time, but it is really the time to, like, you know, bring forth the best of us. What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? So we're in this in between, we're in the hallway, and the hallway is always kind of awkward, and we don't know where we're going to end up, but it's, so just don't panic. You know, we're in this creative time from one paradigm to the other. We're in the shift. So just kind of, you know, flow with it. Like the ocean, it's coming in, it's going out. So we're in the healing time right now between ages. So that's the dove medicine. So I wanted to thank you so much for inviting me on here.
Oh my gosh. I'm Sumi and Zoe, I'm just so thrilled.
Me too.
And so
Thank
grateful. And viewers, I appreciate you sticking around. If you watch us all in one sitting, good for you. And all the decks that we used, my soul sisters will message me the names of their decks, and I'll have that all listed in our descriptions box down below. And don't like or share this video. Let's keep it close to the vest. This video is offered with love, and those who need to hear it will hear it. And if you feel somebody you know and love needs to hear it, then please share. But otherwise, don't bother. We don't need a lot of nonsense out there. All right. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. We'll do our best to answer. Please keep an eye out for our upcoming 3 more videos for our 2021 series that we'll be producing, and also possibly our weekly videos that'll be coming up with the week in review or the week forecast. We haven't decided yet. We need a wise women council on that first. So keep an eye out for more video content. And I can't thank my soul sisters enough for being here and for you being here. And I hope you can feel all the love that we have for you today. And remember, you are God's most favorite child. So take care of yourself first and then add others. See you next time.